Hey YouTube. Well, thanks for coming and watching the rest of the video. So I'm very bummed out, mainly because today in the US, the largest death toll of the coronavirus was at 285. So my heart goes out to everybody that is just dealing with this, I haven't said much, but one of the other reasons I'm here is because I have an elderly father and he's almost 80. He's been the main guy helping me here. He's almost 80, but he's doing a lot of things. He's still very movable. He needs his naps, siestas. But he's basically the guy who is in charge of ordering the materials, basically getting all the best prices. So when I start talking about costs and pricing and all that stuff, there's a couple of things you have to take in consideration. First, you need to have somebody like my dad. Most likely you won't have. So you're gonna have to pay for somebody that you can trust to buy materials, to be that trustee, and to make sure the labor is being done on time, because like everybody else, anybody in manufacturing, warehouse, anywhere where you work, if you don't motivate your employees, most likely they're gonna try to do as less as possible. So there's a way to be able to be still a good employee, as much as you guys out there watching, a good employer to your employees, and motivate them to work. So what I'll show you today, and the timing has a lot to do with the person behind it, which is my dad. And you have to have another guy, which I'm going to put a picture here. And I don't like taking pictures of the workers, but I will show you Juan, because he is the master builder here, which they call el maestro, albañil. So this guy's really good. So if you do need, I can give you his contact number. If you're planning to build a home anywhere here in the Chapala area, Ajijic, he knows very well what he's doing. He knows this land, which is very important because he knows how it works. He knows what to look for, which is, he's been doing this since he was a kid. So I'll show a picture next. So that was one. Okay, so let's talk about cost. So I started this project in 2019, and we had an exchange rate of the dollar of 20 pesos per dollar. So my total investment was $100,000, and so far I've spent roughly $55,000. Okay, to the peso, roughly about 1,100,000 pesos. So I still have about 900 to go. I'm pretty confident that I'll either meet the budget, or I'm gonna need just a little bit more, depending on all the stuff that I need. I did buy some stuff out of my own, not my own, but separate budget this time here, because the exchange rate was so good that I went ahead and just used my ATM, my debit card, and bought some stuff that I know we're gonna need inside the house. More of like ovens and fridge and stuff like that, not from the build. So that's why I'm not really including it in the cost, because you build a home, you furnish it and everything at a different time. It's not really, in my opinion, the cost of the home. So far what I'm going to show you guys today is just the cost of the home, and what you get. Okay, I can't really itemize it for you guys. It's really difficult. I apologize for that. So you're going to have to kind of go by ear. But what I can tell you, that the most expensive parts, most expensive things I have to buy are the iron, which I'm going to show you guys, and the foundation. And this foundation costs a lot because of the tilt of the property, and we want it to be a little bit more level with the street, which I'm going to show you guys in just a bit. So watch next. So what's associated with the cost of that $55K, and having somebody like my dad and having somebody like Juan that is moving along the production site, not wasting time and using every minute. Now, granted, what you need to understand is they do have a job here. They're under a syndicate. They can work 8 hours. Obviously, you have to pay overtime, medical, and all that stuff. So that's all included into the cost that we're talking about. And wherever you go, you're going to have to pay for that, unless you contract somebody and you're not directly involved. So what you see is basically what the money brings is this whole building right here so far. The cistern, we got already the iron, the beams that go on top, or the vigas. So that's already part of what I'm saying is the cost with. Materials, brick, wood to do the cement on the top before you put the vigas. So all the iron that goes connected to the vigas, all the brick has already been paid for. This brick and this brick, I forgot how many the builder told me, but it's going to be able to cover this whole ceiling, which he'll be sending me videos maybe within a couple of weeks of it being up and closed. It will also have on the top part, so just kind of imagine. So if you're in the building, and I'm going to make a small mirador, so from that end, you're going to be 4 more feet up to the end of that viga. So castillos, I'm sorry. That will give me security as you lean forward, so you can be on the top. You can put chairs, you can put tables, and then you can see that view of the lake that I've been trying to show you guys. So they do some connections like this one, extend it up. They're going to lay one of the largest beams, support beams that the building has, from here all the way across. It's one of the big ones over here. And then another one that comes way from here all the way to this section right here. So what doesn't it include? As you can see, it does not include the cost of electrical. None of the electrical is in this cost yet. None of the plumbing, some of the plumbing, I'm going to say sorry. So some of the plumbing is already run out, very minimal. So as you can see, here's going to be a dishwasher. Still needs electrical, water drainage. Oven's going to be here. So gas line, electrical, and so forth. So none of the electrical. There still has to be padding on the floor. So they'll take a machine and, you guys probably know better than I do, but they'll pound it down and then they'll put cement on it. That finishes the floor. And obviously the finish of the floor, like tile and stuff like that, you still need. Then they'll, it's called enjarre. I don't know if there's a word for in English, but I would call it more like a stucco finish inside. It's not like the U.S. It is not paste. Like if you're in the U.S. California area, you know, everything's drywall, and then you just kind of spray it, give that texture. Here's more cement. So all this would be textured cement finish. That's still not in the cost yet. Windows. Windows are not part of the cost yet. Countertops, because there's going to be a countertop here. Still not part of the cost. Lighting. All the lighting in the top, obviously. Fans. That's still not part of the cost. So, tile for the bathrooms is still not in the cost, what I've been telling you. As you can see, it's very raw. That will have tile. And what I'm going to try to do is do concrete tops, which is in style right now, but it's also cheaper and more flexible to what you need to do. And then you just put wood cabinets underneath it. So hope that information was helpful, because when I was looking for videos, I was looking for information like this. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. It is kind of tough. As you can see, some material for electrical I've already purchased, but the electrical is not put in. Some material for water has been actually done. I am going to use a hydro pump for this, so that hydro pump has not been purchased. So lighting from the outside with sensors have not been purchased. The lighting, the finish of the roof, that's still, it's not very much what I understood, but I'm going to go ahead and come down here. I'm going to flip the camera around and just show you the view from here for now. Before I turn it around, very country-like feel. And yes, there's mosquitoes. See the lake over there. Hopefully you guys can see it, but imagine from the rooftop how beautiful it looks. So I'm going to shut this down, and then I'm going to sit down right there and talk to you guys a little bit more. Well, thank you guys for watching to this point. Hoping the information is helpful. Even though you know, if I didn't answer something correctly, or if I didn't say something correctly, I apologize. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll try to answer as much as I can. To my knowledge, I'll try to answer. So let's talk about time. I bought this property, if I'm right, in August, with all the paperwork, permissions, negotiations, and everything. We really started the construction in December. So I would say that you have to include the time of negotiation. You have to include the time of getting the permits, because in reality, if you guys come and buy a property here, that's what you're going to be doing. So I would go all the way from August. So now you got August, September, October, November, December. So 4 months before you actually start the build, in my opinion. I have December, January, February, the entire month of March to get to this point. That is considered pretty quick under Mexico standards. Can it go faster? Yes, but you're going to be paying more. So will you be paying more if you do it long run? Shorten the, let's say you hire, I have 5 people working here. If I hire 10, will I shorten the time? I believe so. There is, but you know, to get 10 people that you can trust, working in harmony, could be tough. So if you're in a hurry, you would probably either pay the same. So you can either choose to put more people if your master builder is good enough to direct 5 people. The other thing is, if you have more 5 people, you have to be able to have somebody that orders the material quicker. And the stuff doesn't come here when they say. So, for example, the beams, I ordered them, my dad ordered them a week ago. We got them this week. They're supposed to be here Tuesday. The final one got here today, Thursday. So if you're talking about timing and making sure all your employees are working in harmony and on time, I see it a little difficult to do it with 10 people. Not impossible, but more difficult. With 5 people, you have flexibility to cushion the time from receiving things, ordering things, to things that you can do. So this is one thing that I believe that my dad and Juan has been able to maximize the time without idle time from the people. So I'm for, I guess because working for us, I would say 5 people for about 1,800 square feet home works. My brother's gonna be building a home here, and his house is about 2,100 square feet, and he's gonna use the same 5 people. So I talked to the master building and asked him, you know, how long do you think he'll take? Because another thing is, it's really difficult to get out of him how long it's gonna take, and he's good. But it's difficult to say, you know, in the US, we're used to, hey, give me an estimate, cost, give you the size, time, everything. I think the reason why it's hard for them to give you an estimate, because it's also hard to get materials on time. really tell you how it's going to go. If you know 2 or 3 people are sick or missing or whatever reason. So I'm not sure why he's hesitant. I try to get out of him. Tomorrow he's going to give me a small. I challenged him a little bit to give me the time and pricing of the stucco, or just the time, so I can make an estimate. And that's another reason because I would like him to be able to work with other people and give better estimates. I think it's important that people are able to give you a timeline. Obviously, like every construction, you have to be able to have the time that you wish you have it and the time that reality you can have it. And I would always give it about 4 weeks, even more. And this even happens in the U.S. So the U.S. has a problem unless you're right on it. But there's also delays. So I believe it's going to be another, he said 4 months to 5 months. I tend to believe it because of the rate, how quick he's working. The speed, the hardest thing to do here is the foundation. That took a couple of months. So when they started building the walls and putting all the castillos, it went pretty quick, in my opinion. Another thing that I believe, if you don't have somebody that knows exactly your taste and where you want things, it's going to be very important for you to come out here. So I had in my plan, I had an architectural plan, I had a sketch that I made, and then I had an architect render it. Even after it's rendered, and once I'm here and seeing things, so we change things. And it's okay. It's not like it's illegal or anything like that. So, for example, I added this big window here in the laundry room. That's a big window for a laundry room. It's not normal. But aesthetically from the outside, it's going to look better if I have a big window there than a tiny window. And then a big window for the guest bedroom. And then another tiny window for the guest bathroom. So we went with all big windows, aesthetically from the outside. I think from the inside, the gain is that you have a lot of light come in. For the bathroom, I still think it's kind of weird, but I think it'll work. So a lot of natural lighting, nice curtain. I think it'll work. You'll get a nice flow. I am a little bit of a distance from the street, so there's privacy. So not that I'm going to walk around naked or anything like that, but I think there's still privacy there. So also for like the electrical connections, where do you want them? Where do you want the lights? I mean, the architect will render the building and everything, but not how you want the lights to work. If you want, they call the escalating lights, where you turn them on in one place and you can turn them off in another place. So for me, it wasn't as important. So I only did it in the hallway, where if the guest wants to turn off the light, or I want to turn off the light, I can turn the hall light off or on, and it kind of jumps through. I didn't care about it for the hallway or anything like that. I didn't care for it in the kitchen, because in my house I do have that, and I don't really need it, and I don't think I need it here. So where I want the fan, the location where you think your furniture is going to be at, is very important. Where you're going to have your table. In my case, where I want my fish tank. How high I really want things, like the arc. I want a really high arc. They thought I was crazy, but I like the grandeur of the look of a tall door arc. I mean, it can look beautiful. And then you have a metal door, I guess, and then you have in your window, so you can imagine that it looks really nice. So I do believe that at the point where it is now, to the point where they add the beams on top and they close it with the brick, not the mortar, whatever they put on top to seal it and all that stuff. You have to try to be here to give them that information, even as the layout of the ground. If it's not where you want it, like honestly, I didn't want this here. I probably wanted to put it in the back. At the end of the day, it's going to be okay because it's going to be covered with lawn, grass. But that means I can't put a tree here. Should I put a tree here? Maybe not. So maybe it works out perfectly. But if I want to put a palm tree there, I can't. So I would have chosen a different place for this. It is what it is. I'm happy with it. I'm only going to have a small opening for top of the cistern, and it's fine. So it's still very blessed. So I do believe you have to be involved. It takes a lot of time, and you have to enjoy it. The problem with me today is that I can't really feel joyful with everything that's going on around the world. So just been praying my heart out for everybody that's suffering for it. I felt like I felt it coming when it happened in China, and just praying for them, and now it's here in the US. Mexico right now is still not under the gun, but if they don't take care, they're going to have the same issue. So please continue to pray for everybody. I'm glad I came. I'm glad I'm with my pops. I really wanted to see him, but I miss my family right now, and I am really wanted to go home as much as I'm enjoying the bill. So thank you again for watching. I hope all this information was very helpful to you. God bless you guys. Stay safe. I apologize for the cutoff. I ran out of memory, so I had to delete some of the videos. I haven't wanted to delete them because I still have some videos that I haven't posted. So, all right, what was I saying? Please take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, cover your mouth, social distance, which I know not being in an airplane is the best thing to do. I came here because I felt like I had to. More so for my pops than the build. So avoid it if you can. May God bless you guys and be safe.